Greetings. This is TK Trav, aka Travis Magus, here with LVX777. Stop watching this video, because if you don't follow the advice of my first lesson, no matter how much you read, your magic will likely fail miserably. The etheric plane and the principle of correspondence is the foundation of everything else I'm going to teach you. It's like telling a first-time MMA student that lesson number 1 is how to stand properly. Is it boring? Maybe. But if the student skips this lesson because it's boring, the moment he steps into the ring, he'll get his head rocked so fast, so hard, that he's probably going to give up due to the throbbing reality check of a broken jaw with missing teeth. And although the lesson might be obvious, it's still crucial. If you treat this first topic lightly, your magic, just like that MMA newbie's teeth, will likely suffer one painful loss after another. It's as simple as that. Fact. There is an unlimited amount of energy and power constantly flowing downward into our reality from the highest levels of divinity to the lowest levels of the mundane. Each and every person has the potential ability to access this energy and use it for whatever purpose they desire. Those of us with a more disciplined mind know how to magnetize greater amounts of power and utilize this power for greater purposes. With the unlimited cosmic power of the universe, anything and everything is possible. Today, you're going to learn exactly how to make this connection. Just suppose there was something in your life that could be improved. Maybe there's a situation you've been dealing with for quite some time that you just don't have an answer for. And it's frustrating, it's painful, and you might even be at the end of your rope. Maybe you're coping with something right now because you can't quite figure out a better way. I'm going to ask you a question. Let's see how quickly the answer appears. If you had access to unlimited power, what would be the first thing you would apply it to? What would be the first situation that you would begin to change for the better? If you could tap into the inexhaustible power, the inexhaustible source of multidimensional energy, just how would you start crafting your life right now? Think hard. Think long and hard about this scenario. How deep do you feel you would have to go to find this kind of power? In this video, you're going to get a glimpse of the simple methods that ancient magi and hermetic occultists use to keep themselves in the powerful center of the divine universe. If you pay close attention, you will also be able to use these same simple methods to bring every aspect of your life into divine harmony. Whatever you may be struggling with can be brought to a harmonious balance without any expensive tools or long drawn-out rituals. No more wasted time. You can find that your greatest magical tool is already in your possession, and by sharpening this magic wand, you can transmute any and every circumstance into gold. Keep your mind wide open, for what you're in the process of downloading right now is highly potent magical training. And that, dear student, is exactly why you're here. Let's get started. In the very early 2000s, I spent a lot of time fixing computers. Proudly tucking my red Circuit City uniform shirt into my pants in the morning was a ritual that I enjoyed. It symbolized the beginning of my day, in using my intelligence and experience to help someone solve their problems. I went off to work every day, opening, closing, and selling desktops of all types. I carried those 3 years of hardcore nerd experience with me into the world's finest Navy, where, at the end of the 2000s decade, I found myself with even more hardcore nerd experience as a technology technician amongst the nation's finest seamen. I wanted to advance my career, so I needed to get certified. After an expensive failed first attempt, I finally earned my first Cisco certification, which meant the potential for more money. but truly it meant that I'm certified to be trusted with handling digital data. So try to conceive my level of surprise when a friend of mine recently approached me with a mountain made out of a molehill. He held in his hands a laptop that wouldn't turn on. To me, this was a simple fix, and I immediately offered a simple solution. All he had to do was take the hard drive out and place it into an external hard drive enclosure. Voila, problem solved. But here's the crazy part. Even though he came to me because he knew I could fix his problem, what happened was that after I presented this easy solution, he began to passionately disagree. No, this can't work. The motherboard is broken. I'm just gonna have to scrap it. There's nothing I can do. I've lost all my pictures and all my files. Wow. Just wow. He walked away with his solvable problem still in his hands, unsolved. Because he thought he knew everything there was to know about his situation, he was unable to see an alternative solution. Oftentimes, we think we have our problems figured out, but we truthfully don't have them figured out, and that's mainly evidenced by the fact that we still have the problem. There is always a solution. Sometimes we just have to get out of our own way in order to see it. The unlimited power of the cosmos is constantly streaming down upon us in multiple frequencies, kind of like a Wi-Fi or 5G signal from the center of the universe without the monthly bill. This streaming service is on the house. The problem is, our receivers are usually jammed up and blocked in multiple ways, so the frequency doesn't get to us very clearly. Our reception is filtered. The biggest filter is our mental framework. Our perspectives are so pivotal to how we receive and access this energy. A simple shift from the mindset of scarcity to a mindset of abundance can change the entire paradigm. As believed, so experienced. If we hold on tightly to outdated ideas, these ideas will limit our capacity. Ideas like this unlimited energy being bestowed upon us by a merciful God. Ideas like this powerful access being revoked because of our naughty behavior or because of fate or karma, witchy women whispering about the threefold law. These outdated ideas are self-limiting and they prevent us from growing in power. Energy flows throughout creation, and the only limits and barriers are the ones we create in our perception of reality. The limits we place on ourselves and our environment all come from tightly held beliefs that we submit to. The universe wants to fix your laptop. Are you open to trying something new? Or will you walk away, clutching all your problems tightly in stubborn arms? In episode 1, I revealed several clues about the etheric patterns that govern the natural physical plane. All the power in existence accumulates into the etheric plane. The atomic pressure of all of this energy begins to form into patterns. I discussed the Hermetic principle that shows you exactly how to begin to harness these patterns. So if you haven't seen episode 1, go back and check that one immediately. Episode 2 revealed clues on how to anchor those etheric patterns into physical manifestation. No matter what spiritual path you're on, these ultimate principles are universal. Go check out episodes 1 and 2 and continue watching all of these lessons because I'm going to reveal the bigger picture as we go along. Be sure to keep up. You'll be so proud of yourself when you see how this all adds up for you. You may have heard about the subconscious mind, or you may not fully understand what that concept is all about. That's fine. We will get a bit more in depth with this subject in later videos. For now, just understand that when I refer to the subconscious mind, I'm speaking of a conceptual framework. We have a conscious mind, which is regulated by the input gathered from our 5 senses. A very simple system in comparison. The subconscious is a bit more complex as it deals with a staggering amount of data, a small portion of which is actually what we call the conscious mind. The subconscious mind regulates most all of the automatic patterns that govern our experience. The pattern of heartbeat, the pattern of blinking and breathing, the pattern of habit, and especially patterns of thinking and feeling. The conscious mind convinces itself that it is driving the vehicle, but in all actuality, the subconscious allows the illusion to take place. It is this subconscious mind that is in direct contact with the etheric plane. As we discussed in the previous episodes 1 and 2, the etheric plane is the software to the physical plane's hardware. The realm of mind is connected to the realm of matter. Everything that has happened in the realm of matter first took shape in the realm of mind. It is this etheric realm where magic is orchestrated. The conscious mind works in partnership with the subconscious. Even though the subconscious mind is exceedingly abundantly able to do all things, it has built-in safety regulations so that it doesn't act upon every single thought the five-sense conscious mind focuses on. This is a very merciful thing. As you can imagine, anything is possible. So now we're getting to the point where we can discuss just how to strengthen your relationship with the infinite energy eternally present all around us. I'm going to tell you in plain, simple English how to tap in. If you haven't by now, I highly suggest you read the Kabbalion and study the 7 Hermetic Principles. These basic instructions before leaving Earth can help make sense of what may seem to be a vastly confusing subject. Here's where things get very important to understand. You'll want to write these down, or at the very least, screenshot them for your digital book of shadows. The truth discussed here will seem deceptively simple, so please be ever vigilant and consider the following. This is one of the biggest misconceptions about the subconscious mind, affirmations, and rituals. Take this into careful consideration and don't forget it. Please understand this one thing. The subconscious mind does not communicate through logic and plain English. This fact alone should help relieve some of the pressure many of you have written to me about concerning how to do your rituals and affirmations correctly. The words themselves don't matter. There are no magic words, at least not in the way you think. We'll get into magical words of power in the next episode when we discuss the vibratory nature of the simulation. So now that we understand that the subconscious mind isn't regulated simply by basic words, what is it that actually impacts the subconscious mind? If you listen close, you can hear my grade A students whispering the 3 words in order. Excellent work, mages. The subconscious mind is abstract. Therefore, in order to effectively get through to the subconscious, it's imperative to remember these 3 modalities. The subconscious mind communicates through symbols. It is impacted by repetition. It is deeply affected by instances of trauma, or put in another term, an emotional spike. In the first 2 episodes, I've mentioned the principle of correspondence multiple times. The principle of correspondence is an aspect of formidable mental technology that allows us to tune into specific energies. If correspondence is the key, then that means the subconscious mind is the keyhole. You have now stepped up, face to face, with the doorway of the imagination. Consider this. At this present moment, your flesh is submerged, bathed and bombarded by waves and frequencies of all types. There are high frequencies, low frequencies, 1G through 5G, broadband, Wi-Fi, telephone, radio, ultraviolet, and microwaves swirling through your environment since you are half sperm and half egg. And even though you've developed a strong body with 2 bright eyes, you were never, ever been able to see these waves or feel these frequencies. Yet, we tap into them every single day without a second thought. While our sight is limited to a very small frequency band of 7 colors, we have used our other senses to develop tools that correspond with these waves and frequencies. When you drive your car, you tune the radio to a corresponding station. You tune your television to the corresponding channel. When you get home from work, you use your phone to access the internet. Through the legion of named Wi-Fi frequencies, you use your password to correspond with the Wi-Fi signal of your choice. As above, so below. The astral plane is filled with cosmic forces, just like the physical plane is steeped in frequencies of every type. The astral plane is swelled up with 7 primary categories of energies. With psychic consciousness developed within your etheric body, these energies can be observed, assuming forms and manifestations. These manifestations are built up through the repeated use of imagination. Most skilled occultists take great care in construction of each of these forms, including deliberate details to engage etheric perception. Generations of worship and adoration build a very strong image in the astral light. And when sacrifice is added to worship, the image is brought a step farther down the planes into manifestation and acquires a form in the dense ethers of Yesod, and is a very potent magical object capable of independent action when ensouled by the concrete ideas generated in Hod. We see then that every celestial being conceived by the mind of man has as its basis a natural force, but that upon the basis of this natural force is built up a symbolic image representative thereof, which is ensouled and rendered active by the force it represents. The image, then, is but a mode of representation, indulged in by the human mind for its own convenience, but the force that the image represents, and which ensouls it, is a very real thing indeed, and under certain circumstances can be exceedingly powerful. In other words, although the form under which the god is represented is pure imagination, the force associated with it is both real and active. Mystical Kabbalah, chapter 22, verse 9 and verse 10. What makes these verses so highly important? They explain that while there is no spooky mystery god in the sky, the force that is behind him is very real. The conscious mind needs a symbol to wrap itself around for channeling, for focus. We use the image and the symbol of a man named Jesus on the cross. Through repetition, we put ourselves into a state of mind to receive the force that this symbol stands for. We use our imagination to connect to a symbol. We utilize an emotional spike to link with the symbol. In turn, etheric pattern. Through correspondence and sympathetic magic, we can access any force in the universe, simply by focusing upon a symbol. Wow. But Trav, surely it must be more complicated than this. You're telling me that if I just focus on a symbol and repeat this process with emotions, I'm able to channel any of the energies of the universe? It's your laptop. You can keep it the way it is, or you can allow me to show you how to use it again. I'm just a technician who studied a lot of books and fixed a lot of operating systems. Today, you've learned that the subconscious mind is a symbol-based operating system, and it operates based on regulating patterns. Patterns are formed through repetition. Indulging intense emotions helps to solidify and congeal these repeated patterns. Patterns are what constitutes the entirety of the etheric plane. The etheric plane is composed of thick layers of all types of frequencies, just like our physical environment is saturated with frequencies of radio waves, scalar waves, and microwaves. We utilize finely tuned mental technology, such as the 7 Hermetic Principles, to harness these frequencies for deliberate use. Kinda like we use radio antenna and satellite dishes to harness the different frequencies in the sky. In order to gain massive power, you must tune your mental technology, your spiritual antenna, your operating system, in order to receive a clear signal. It's better to be in alignment with what's already reliable than to try and reinvent the wheel. In the next episode, we will discuss the mechanics of the vibratory matrix and how everything we've learned so far can be used to unlock the secret of vibration. If you wish to understand the universe, think of energy, frequency, and vibration. You know where to find me. Just dial LVX777 into the ether. Don't pretend, do the work. This is TK Trav, aka Travis Magus, here with LVX777. I love you guys. Peace.